Trace.
He said 3.
Well, I said we're going live in 3 seconds, not that, technology would immediately snap into action in 3 seconds.
You better, Joe.
No, I refuse.
This live stream 3 minutes late is brought to you by Joe not doing better. It's
Enjoy that.
I mean,
so there's that.
Good evening, Mr. Black Frost. How's it going?
Mr. Black Frost.
Yeah. That shit's dangerous, don't you know? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Black Ice.
Indeed.
I don't discriminate against which ice it is.
So many horrible, horrible jokes to be made. Another time on a different channel.
I was going to make a vanilla ice joke, and then I decided not to.
It's probably for the best.
Well, I figure he's made enough of them himself.
Guy makes a mean deck, though. Go check it out on the HG network. It's Not right now. You're here for the stream. Just stay where the hell you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You stay there.
So far, so good. So there's not many people streaming in tonight. A little quieter this evening.
Quieter so far.
How dare they?
Hey, man. Is there a football on the television tonight or something?
There might be. It's a Sunday. But also, the 990. So it's really drawn people in tonight on how captivated they are to hear our thoughts about the ZT 990.
Isn't that just like perfect? Anyway, without getting too far into it yet. So this
haven't even talked about EDC carry, anything.
No,
like
no. Speaking of which.
Yes.
It's a Benza today. Because I could. And it needs to be carried more than I carry it. Yeah, there we go.
It's not the wrong answer.
I should carry this more because it is pretty fun to use. It's a great knife, but I don't know. I'm really hoping that one day CRK will have options for more expensive blade steels, and then I won't pay $1,000 for them because that's probably what they'd end up costing.
I like the fact that Joe had the opportunity to advertise for himself with this photo, and he said, no, advertise for the channel. That's good shit. I like you.
Absolutely.
Well, it's not a friction folder. Like, let's slow down a little bit here.
Oh, I can throw some of those up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. What about you, Dennis?
Super Greek today. I don't know what is Super Greek.
Freak. Gotta be freak,
yeah.
Right?
I don't know, but there's garlic involved.
Guarantee.
Yeah.
Both at the creek and the Greek. So
the Greek Creek freak.
No.
Is that not a party?
Creek freak?
Yeah. Or the freaky Greek creek. Yeah, the river Styx. That's what it is. It's
This went away from being super, that's for sure.
That's all right.
Hurtful.
It's just us and Matt right now. Just having a chat together.
Dennis, what are you carrying?
So, I was doing some yard work this afternoon. So I brought out the big boy with the eye. I'm carrying the Contigo. So,
Contigo!
The big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. Good times. Let me tell you.
Look at them pretty leaves.
Hey, don't you worry about it.
Whatever you say, bitches.
Pumpkin spice.
I feel like there's a Dune joke in there somewhere. The
Oh, I
spice must
guarantee
flow.
you.
You know, for a franchise, I've never like experienced, partaken, read because it was a novel series, wasn't it?
Dune?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct, sir. Correct.
I'm tempted to go back and, you know, actually bother reading a book for once. It's been probably 6 years since I've read anything like physically in front of me.
Like, I assume you mean fiction.
Oh, just like a book in general.
Well, you've read your Knife Steel Nerds book.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
We're on to his lie, Paul. I can't read. I've been buying books this whole time. It's a cover.
There's
Look,
yeah,
I've been told to fill my house with books, not that I need to read them.
Yeah, exactly. Don't you know? Side note, there are some interesting apps you can get for your phone where it'll scan pages and it'll read to you the pages out loud. Interesting accessibility bullshit. Too cheap for an audiobook? Or they just don't make one for whatever book you happen to have? Just spend hours photographing meticulously every single page and then have Adobe Acrobat read it to you out loud.
That sounds so ridiculously up your alley. I can't even describe it.
I hate audiobooks, full disclosure.
Can you give them different accents?
I actually don't know. I mean, Windows has a built-in text-to-voice synthesizer thing, and you can give them different voices there. I imagine.
Yeah. Can I make him Russian as he's telling me things?
Like... I don't. I don't think so, but it'd be kind of funny if you could.
The only audiobook I've ever listened to was Stephen King's Thinner. And it was read by the actor who was also the voice actor that did the mafia leader for The Simpsons.
Oh, cool.
Good stuff.
It was a weird freaking book. That's all I'm saying. It was a weird combination. That's his voice. That's the way he talks.
I was about to ask. You do mean Fat Tony, right?
Yes, Fat Tony.
Yeah.
Thank you. I got the name there for a minute.
We had long family trips, so books on tape were nothing new in my world, that's for sure. All of them extremely boring, and I probably couldn't repeat a goddamn one of them.
Excellent.
Bible study.
I guarantee there was a horse, and somewhere along the way...
Did it have a name?
Oh, I guarantee. It was like...
So it wasn't a horse with no name?
No, it was not. It was the one that some cowboy was riding somewhere along the way.
Fair enough. Yeah. Quick shout out to Dick Richards in chat.
Hey, man.
We have somebody that's joined us. Hello.
Maybe that's enough justification to move on to what Paul's carrying.
I'm carrying something that's kind of weird. I figured it was kind of fitting to carry this today with the weird ZT that we're going to be talking about tonight.
Your ratchet knife?
Yeah, the 0055. I don't know. It's all right angles. It's all just sharp, pointy bits.
That's all right.
Yes, that's the picture in the exact same spot, again, because I like it.
It's pretty colors, pretty time of year for stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of concrete downtown. Not a lot of pretty colors.
Nah.
You're in the wrong area, my friend. The wrong area.
Hey, man.
I've
got Mac across the street. I've got Crack Max two blocks away. What else do I need?
To be as far away from Crack Max as humanly possible.
I'm
7 stories up. I'm pretty sure I'm away.
As long as you're up there, yeah.
Just stay up there. Sounds all right. Sounds all right.
Yeah. Well, that might be the as many people as we can expect for the time being, so we could probably get on with it.
Indeed.
We might as well. We might as well. You just want to get the ZT off the screen. It's
distracting.
Oh,
I refuse.
I feel like I'm in a fun house with mirrors. It's just they're all angled different ways. You don't know which way is right, but you know you've made a mistake. It's
all wrong. Don't you worry.
They're all wrong, and that's what makes it right.
No. All of the wrongs on that knife don't make it right.
That knife is attractive in the way that a pug is cute.
No,
the
like a car crash.
Oh, okay, so we're talking about Paul's, not the one we're reviewing.
The 990, it's got some pug-like qualities.
It sure does. Why don't we start with those?
I'm not sure what we would describe as pug-like on this.
Well, we have a handful of comparison shots here tonight. Let's start with the least pretty of them. Actually, no, you know what? Let's start with Dennis's because it's quite a bit nicer.
Good stuff. Meanwhile, while you're doing that, this one is 3 1/4 inch blade, just for some size perspectives as we're bringing up some sort of size comparison pictures. I don't even know which ones he's bringing up. There's a handful of them.
The 609.
Yeah.
It's almost exactly the same size as the 609.
Almost identical. Yeah. 2.9 ounce on the weight on this thing. So quite light, actually, for how big the blade is. And yeah.
Well, and for being stainless, not titanium, too.
Well, we'll get to that. It's not the worst thing, but it is pretty skeletonized, like with the carbon fiber overlay and stuff, right? So yeah. KVT on this bad boy, kind of a tribute to the 999. So
yes, which I'll bring up a photo of it here. This is a computer render. It's not exactly perfect, but this is the 999. And that was a super collectible, very limited version that they did. Was this actually a 2015 entry?
That's what they say on the bottom. Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was slightly earlier, like 2013 or.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I just noticed one of the other things they don't have in this picture. There's no pocket clip on that knife.
Don't worry about it. It comes later.
Oh, isn't there? There sure is. It's
in
just
the 999.
It
is there?
Yeah, it's just very. The zoom in this is going to be bad, but.
Oh yeah, they did put one in there. The little bumpy thing on the back extends and it stops before the cutout on the lock bar.
Let's see if that frames it okay. Yeah, see, this is what it looks like when ZT puts an effort into their clips.
Deep carry milled titanium. Yeah.
Yeah, no screw exposed on that side. It's it's a fairly clean look. I think
it's all right, I guess.
I mean, I kind of actually, I don't know if I prefer it to this guy or not. The 804's clip.
I couldn't tell you until I got it in hand, but it might be all right. If they went cheap in stainless steel, I'd be kind of bummed out. But
I hope that's not the case, especially with all the sculpting going on.
I'm only just realizing now too that the 999 was a brazed blade.
Yeah. I forget what the materials were on that one, but yeah, not that it really matters too much.
And I am actually looking at one that a 999, and it ended up having more texturing on it in real life, almost like the Anthem style ribbing, as it were. Yeah.
Ribbit. Anthem style ribbit. Ribbit.
Anyway, this was a callback.
Either way, yes, we're looking at the 990, not this knife itself. This knife is 6 years old, so let's move up.
Yeah. So you lose the carbon fiber. I'm sorry, Kruben Fruber inlay from the blade itself, but what do you gain? 20 CV. supposedly. A hole. You get a hole. 1,000. Yeah, 100%. You get a hole.
Well, and then the backside of this knife as well, pure carbon fiber scale rather than a stainless steel line, right? Like and that's how
Yeah.
they're fitting in their the pocket clip problem of the milling and the whatever is they can just put a 452 or a dividend clip on it and go with pure carbon fiber, which probably helps reduce your weight quite a bit.
Yeah. And
No. Go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say, I wish that this knife was a bit more symmetrical one side to the other. In specific, talking about this stripe of stainless steel that goes down the the midsection of this handle on the presentation side. I understand that they probably couldn't do the same thing on the reverse just because there's not going to be enough room for the liner on the inside of the carbon fiber. If you did that, okay, fine. But I don't know. It kind of
could have been an onlay.
Yeah.
Well, they cut a whole bunch of corners on this bad boy, right? Like, I hate to say it, but especially if you're a throwback for a 999, like the stripe, even the stainless steel side that they're doing now compared to the 999 had like this triangular contour on it. Yeah.
Very angular, whereas this is just chamfered from one side, which for me, I guess I could just say is a stylistic preference. I do like the milling that they did around the holes for the pocket clip, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
All the different contouring and stuff. Yeah.
For sure. I just realized too that the 999 cantilever stop pin thing has no exposed screws on the face side, and the 990 does. I'm curious as to what changed between those two things.
Yeah, I'm not so sure, to be honest.
Was it one piece in the original and they made it out of 3 pieces in the...
I don't think that's the case.
No, they didn't do an integral on the original one.
But I wish we had some better reference photos of the 990, but as far as I can tell,
or the 999, you mean?
Or sorry, 999. Yeah. Oh no, we might actually be wrong on that. That sure looks like an integral. I have a photo from what is this, Arizona Custom Knives, so I'm going to trust that this is a fairly legitimate photo. But if you look closely, that is an integral piece of material.
Scroll back out.
Back out?
Yeah, zoom back out again.
Yeah. A 204p. Okay, that's the steel that they used to use on this guy.
So it was a composite blade. They did D2 on the spine and 204p on the cutting edge with the carbon fiber insert, right? So
yeah.
But
the I'm specifically referring to this interface here, where the stop pin is on the current model.
Yeah.
Just interesting. Yeah. Okay, now remind me of this this knife's cost. Like
the original one was $750 American. So
that makes sense. So it's not totally fair to make a direct comparison. But
yes, it's a third of the price because ZT is $240 American on their website.
Yeah.
No, I asked the question specifically because there's somebody out there asking the same question as me.
Mm-hmm.
True story.
Now you know.
True story.
A hell of a lot cheaper to make it into 3 pieces.
So, what does everyone think? Impressions, so on and so forth. There's a couple other size comparisons if you want to scroll through, Joe.
Yes, so there's one here that you took with the Spyderco Dragonfly. The Dragonfly looks weirdly big next to this knife.
So yeah, the Dragonfly might become one of my go-to reference point pictures because
Yep.
everyone knows the size reference of it, right? I actually thought the 990 was a little bit smaller than what I thought it was going to be. It's the
Same.
theme of 2021 is it's smaller than I thought it was going to be type of, yeah. So
A memoir?
no. Very much knife related.
Well, thanks for clarifying. But to be honest, the grip length of the Dragonfly from the beginning of the choil to the end of the handle is very similar to the measurement between the flipper tab and the end of the 990. So that's
Yeah.
like, this is a really, like, what's the term I'm looking for? Like a subcompact knife, which, like, it's not.
Almost. I put it into the same category as a 609. A little bit like an
Smaller.
Anthem. Yeah, smaller than an Anthem.
Yeah.
The 770, it's reminiscent of like that kind of use knife as well, right?
Yeah.
707.
Yeah.
I do like this thing.
So yeah.
Oh, I've got a comparison shot of it here with my Savenza. Not as pretty of a background, but it just kind of shows you. Now, this is the large, so you get another almost quarter inch of grip length. Not quite that much, but comparative.
Sorry, go ahead.
Comparative blade, comparable cutting edge on the blades, though. Is the one thing I should say. This the knife design here is fairly efficient with its ratios because I know everyone's real picky about that stuff these days. Yeah, the edge of the pivot is pretty close to the beginning of the sharpened blade.
Mm-hmm. It's nice when these edges, like where the farthest back edge of the knife that they're going to measure your blade length on and your cutting edge are basically the same.
Yeah, that is a nice touch.
A much dumber way of putting what you just said.
No, but it makes sense, and I still agree. I will say, though, that this knife, it is more comfortable in the hand than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be very uncomfortable. It's actually not bad. The clip itself was very slightly pinchy, like just a tiny bit pokey in my palm, but nothing I would really write home and complain about, right?
You write home, Joe. You're allowed.
Black Frost did mention he likes it more than he thought he would. Yeah.
In some ways, the same. Some other ways, less so. Sorry, I keep talking over you.
No, that's all right. I just one of my biggest concerns with this actual knife itself, we might as well talk about it. Goddamn detent. Holy cow. Joe liking a crispy detent. I'm sure it's right up his alley. But...
Actually, about that, no.
Crispy detent too. It's not good. It's too much. At least in the one that we got to play with.
Even with some... Oh, where did that go?
I would really like to see more than one and see if the trend continues or if it was just something that a dial-in problem. I'm concerned that with the double detent thing, now they're over tightening their bar on this side because with the two models that have been double detented, you can get away with putting extra pressure on it. But all of a sudden, if you use that same amount of pressure without a double detent on that side, extra crispy, like snap, crackle, pop type of thing.
Extra crispy, and the flipper is both small and kind of pointy.
Yeah.
Those three things together makes it just pretty unpleasant as far as deployment.
I don't know that we actually got a picture of it closed with the flipper tab exposed. That's unfortunate, but it's like this, but it is a very sharp detent.
Kershaw does, or ZT does have one on their website as well. But Black Frost opening it in reverse. Yeah, well, you buy the close to $400 knife first before you throw it on my counter next time. I'm just saying.
I will say that after some very minor adjusting on the pivot, like it very carefully, I will say, it did improve the action slightly compared to when you handled it, I think. But Paul can tell you, it's still very sharp. It's
it is ever so slightly better.
Yeah, it's kind of nasty. Part of that might have something to do with the fact that they have this really super crisp hole milled out, and you can see a picture there. That definitely does help increase the strength of a detent. but fuck, man, there's no chamfering on that edge at all. So it might improve slightly as the ball bearing wears down that edge, but
See,
it's
what they're counting on is that nice crisp corner on the inside of the detent ball is going to get some lint and dust and stuff like that. That's really hard to get out, and eventually it'll create a cupping to the point where your action will just
and
become
it's
nice
gently
and
cupping
smooth.
the ball. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's not like this design where the only place the detent hole is available is like maybe between that little slot, somewhere between it being open and closed. This knife is in the open position. That detent hole is just there. So, yeah.
Saying howdy do is what that detent hole is saying. Yeah.
Clean your holes, ladies and gents.
I mean, you probably should.
The Sith Lord symbol is ZT and Kershaw's in-house design mark, is what you're seeing there.
Yeah, get it.
Dick Richards. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't get on board with this bad boy just because of how Krispy Kreme it is. It's unbelievable.
So,
it's not even a frame lock. It's a liner. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I think I agree. It kind of, the detent does kind of become a bit of a deal breaker. And I like crisp detents. There's enough cut corners here design-wise that I'm also not interested. Not that the knife doesn't feel good in hand. And if it's just one of those designs that grabs you, sure, I could see this really working for somebody. But for me, it's like the lack of symmetry, the fact that it doesn't have a cool, like, more unique pocket clip.
Shout out to Ben. Thanks for joining us. Cheers, man.
Hey.
Indeed.
But, like, even the 707 has this little, like, sure, it's still just a sheet metal clip, but at least they did something fairly interesting with it. You know,
you talk about that clip like it's a good thing, but anyway.
It is a good thing. It's a fantastic thing. Clips either need to be really long or really short, in my opinion, and I think this does it well. But
it's not the worst thing out there. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah. So
let's grab another glamour shot while we're waiting. Yeah.
There was something else about this knife, and I'm trying to remember. But
there's one thing that really drives me nuts about it. I'm pretty sure it drives Joe nuts about it.
Oh, it sure does.
It's a ZT. It's a premium knife, and the backspacer on this premium ZT knife is definitely injection molded plastic, and that's
it sure is. It looks good on the reverse. I'm just gonna zoom in here manually and scroll over. It looks good. The lettering is very clear. Visually, decent job, good job. Structurally, I mean, it's a backspacer. I've used cold steels with plastic spacers for years with no problems.
They did this on the 762 as well. So 2 out of the 3 new models this year had plastic backspacers, right?
That is 100% accurate. I've got another photo here. Why do these ones always take forever to load? Anyway, it'll show any second now the interior texture. And this isn't something that obviously it's not going to affect the function of the knife, but it's just like yet another cut corner. I appreciate the lettering on the spine. I do. But damn, guys, you really had to go for the FRN. Like
I like the lettering. I like where they're saying ZT on their knife. I like that. I like that they kind of hit it like they kind of did on the 999.
9?
But yeah, don't forget the last 9.
Just for the record, there's an extra 9.
Yeah, they're not 9. The 990. 9.
9?
9.
Oh.
9.
Yeah. There's a Wayne Gretzky joke in there somewhere. Anyway, continue on.
So I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it drives me absolutely insane that the stainless steel liners poke out the back of the knife.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they do that. They're hidden everywhere else.
You're talking about this area here, hey? Oh, that's a disgusting close up. Here we go. Anyway.
Yeah, just the two little semicircular nubbins.
Honestly, that part really doesn't bother me all that much.
I just don't get it.
Okay.
They could have extended they could have done the knife in the exact same shape and extended it a millimeter and hidden it.
I mean, maybe, but if you look at the original, I'm just wondering if there's any. Yeah, the design really does push that little space out. Let me see if there's another picture here to see. No, I guess they don't really do that as much on the original.
It's just,
Hmm.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know if it bugs me or not. I think it's a thing.
If you're going to expose your liner should be interesting in some way and not just, hey, look at the stainless steel back here.
I mean, it creates visual contrast, I guess.
But what you're saying is that they should have actually done some milling, like anywhere on it, like along the sides of it, along the clip like it used to be, along the butt where it used to be. So
along the butt.
Engrave some butts. Come on.
Do it.
No, don't. Engrave or do something on the side frame of it to make it a little jazzier. But yeah, I don't know.
It's a neat concept. I like that cantilevered stop pin. It's a neat thing that you don't see on a lot of different knives. Like very modern.
I like that shot.
But again, even the like original one where it was one piece milled compared to the stop pin with the screws on it as well, like everything about this knife. Does it say 1/3 the price? I guess.
The fact that it's stainless steel and the fact that there's really not much milling going on here aside from a little bit of chamfering. It honestly, my thoughts to sum this up, it's a very underwhelming knife, especially considering the price point.
And the flat of the carbon fiber on the other side, like no rounding, no contouring, no nothing, just a slab.
It's like they didn't give a shit. Like honestly, it just kind of sucks.
Look, everyone's going to take their pictures from the one side for the gram. Who cares about the back?
It's true. It's true.
You figure you would design around it, though. You'd come up with a way to make it symmetrical and not suck. And
I'm sure that there's going to be some sort of argument that, you know, it for in and out of the pocket, that carbon fiber, I'm sure, is really nice, doesn't hack up your pocket too much.
With the stainless steel overlay?
The 3 or 4 layers might get jagged on you as you're trying to put it in and out if you are a lefty trying to do this. That's the other thing that I'm not too hot on is, yes, they gave you a lefty like clip to put it on, but then it's gonna look weird. Like
just one extra layer, man. Just one extra layer.
Would give it more than my standard 3 for pocket ergos because it does have a lefty, but I'd still probably only give it a 4 or 5 just because it's going to look weird as hell to put that clip on the lefty side.
It would look weird for sure, but I don't think it would be that bad going in and out of the pocket. It's still just riding on the stainless steel, right?
Yeah, and a flat on the stainless steel too, right?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
I think that'd be fine, but you're right. Visually, it would look kind of...
Yeah, jarring.
Now, if they gave you
your face side would be just the slab of carbon fiber now.
Which is super stupid. But like, it kind of would have been funny if they had given you a black clip for the left-hand carry, just because they know it's add contrast.
Yeah. That would have made me smile a little bit more, but you know.
But they didn't. So there's that.
Who do you think this is? Not ZT?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just...
We are talking about a company whose third release of the year was just their knife from last year recolored.
Well,
yeah.
I was more thinking along the lines of giving free pocket clips away would be like giving free pivot tools away. But, you know, it's...
Cold Steel can do it.
I mean, who was it that was it Microtech $100 for their tool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. Anyway.
I think even now they're still like 25.
My first impression of this knife is if they get the detent figured out, it'll actually be a pretty sweet little knife. But that was like such a big complaint for me. It was hard to get over on how crisp, especially for a liner lock. You're not even pinning it closed with your hands on a frame lock or anything. You got to get those detents dialed in if you're going to be charging people American made, high quality prices, blah, blah, blah. There's got to be an expectation.
The detent was so crisp, I actually checked to see if it was a detent ball on the inside or if it was a post like Joe's North Arm.
Yeah,
because
like
it felt like it was a post digging into a similarly shaped hole.
You just wait till that pocket lid builds up. That's where the real fun starts.
I'm waiting, man.
You think I'd let that happen? I might let that happen.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's my first impression. I hope to get to see more of them and we have a long-term conclusion on these guys not being all just like, holy cow, can't open the damn thing.
Yeah.
Availability on these seems to be kind of shot, though. I mean,
welcome to 2021. It's now October, Joe. Where you been?
Yeah, but if ZT's only introducing like, so few new options, you figure they're trying to, keep as much in production as they can. And this knife being what it is, using the materials it's using, and you can't get it that easily, like that's a little silly.
Who even knows what the planned release for this guy? Like the 762 came out second quarter, and this one was obviously their third quarter release, whatever, right? But point out a whole bunch of other companies, Spyderco, whoever else, type of thing that have been kind of like
Cold Steel struggled.
Yeah.
Fucking everybody's struggling.
Still waiting for that Christmas miracle with a micarta Crewwear PM2, but
2023.
I think Santa Claus is going to be throwing some coal in some stockings if your name's Spyderco and that's on your wish list. So
my name's not Spyderco, but it's definitely on my wish list.
Well, Santa Claus just has the wrong address now. You got to get that fixed. It's Colorado Way. No, Spyderco Way, I believe it is. They named the street after them.
That's definitely one way of doing it.
Yeah, that's a thing. I'm just going to leave that comment left unsaid. Sorry, I'll be back in just a sec here.
I think you put it really well there, Dennis. That I wanted to like this knife more than I ended up doing when I finally handled it.
Yeah, there was a couple things. Like I said, the show side being just a flat stainless steel bar, the not show side just being flat carbon fiber, the detent just being as crisp as hell. They tweak a couple things on this knife, and you probably would have, like, ergos wise and size, I really like it. Like it fits nice in the pocket as far as an EDC platform.
Definitely.
It ain't no 301 or 308.
Or 304. Or sorry, 804.
562. Now we're just throwing random numbers.
Now we're just throwing out numbers.
456.
Hey man, the 456. She's a chunk.
She's a chunk. The OG 350's like, what about me, man?
The OG 350's a chunk too. I was talking to Joe in the shop today about that backspacer and lamenting about the fact that I wish they had just cast it in aluminum. But Joe had a pretty good insight as to why they probably didn't cast it in aluminum, at least with the lettering.
Yeah, getting definition out of cast aluminum at that scale is not entirely feasible. It's going to take a dedicated facility. You're looking at pretty expensive price points for outsourced materials and components. There's the other thing too, that when you cast aluminum, it's never going to be as strong as like aluminum from an ingot. So you have a weaker material that doesn't look as good, and in order to make it look as good, you're paying even more of a premium than you already are for this knife. It's a little it'd be a bit cost prohibitive, I think.
Yeah.
You could still do it, but I mean, it's just maybe for the original when it cost a G note, to pick up. But
yeah, I think they would have been better off just casting it and then milling it to its final shape or something like that.
Yeah.
But again, increased cost and taking a knife that's kind of expensive as it is and making it more expensive, it's not going to help its cause.
Well, and we're getting into one of those like ZT needs to compete with that $400 price point that they claim that they are type of thing, right? And you can't continue to produce, I don't know how many blades that I've seen in the last couple of years, where for me personally, standard of what I saw from ZT is not quite what it needs to be right now type of thing, right? So
there's 2 right now that or maybe 3 that I wouldn't mind taking home, but they're older models.
Yeah, been around for a while. Justin, Infinite Gunworks, thanks. Glad you could join us.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
So overall, we're whelmed.
I'd say I'm a little underwhelmed, but very close to whelmed.
I'm hopefully whelmed.
Hey man, maybe this means next year they're gonna have just awesome offerings.
We'll see what the SHOT Show has in store for us, for sure. But again, I think, on a coasting year when it comes to models and things being released and whatever, and I think ZT is just on the train of let's coast and get some models out type of idea, right? So
no,
they're gonna have a 992 that's slightly nicer and slightly bigger, and
I really hope that this is just a one-off issue with the detent, and that any others are just perfect out of box, like all the 450s, all the Sinkoviches have been. Like, it's just weird to me that like these are so dialed in, straight out of box, didn't need any fiddling, and it's just crispy, perfect. And you guys go to a liner lock and you fuck it up that bad? I hope it's just a QC thing.
And again, I am also hoping we get a chance to look at some other ones real soon, type of thing, and hopefully we'll have a better perspective on it, right? So
maybe they were rushed because of lack of materials or something.
But again, I think I might like point out again with the double detent thing and them still kind of working on perfecting their detents. And ZTE has they get some models that, like you said, the 450, the 452, they got good action on them. They got good detent action. But there's ones that, models that vary season to season on what they're going to be when they come out of the ZT factory, right? So I think ZT is still kind of working on, let's get this happy medium of crispy and lock bar stick or whatever, right? So
you just hope they'd figured it out by now. That's all.
Yeah, you would hope. I think you hope more than I do, but you like CT more than I do. So I think that's where the hoping comes from.
I do.
Like, I kind of hope, but not that much.
Fair.
I hope, because I think of all of us, I might be the most into some ZTs as far as their looks. Basically, it's Sinkovich designs ultimately.
That'll do it.
Like the 670 that's been drawing my eye recently.
Mm-hmm. I will say that I hope this is a sign of things to come. If things continue to be difficult, supply chains continue to be disrupted, and titanium is something that ZT can't get a hold of as easily, as readily, as often. If they start to move towards stainless steel and titanium liner locks with more varying designs, I could see them doing very well with that. Cost of production is going to go down a little bit, help offset a lot of those costs.
Hey, Joe.
I think they could do some cool stuff, but this isn't.
Fucking werewolves.
Well, hey, fuck you too.
Yeah.
But the detent again isn't particularly encouraging. But I hope.
Black Frost talking about the 308 is excellent. Yeah, for sure. Also, detent inconsistencies on that knife, and no one can really even argue that. We've seen some inconsistencies on some 308s, right? So
the first couple 308s we got in were pretty brutal, if I remember correctly. Like they were about as crispy as this, but maybe even more so. Like I remember having to use quite a bit of force to get that thing to go, even being careful to keep my hand off the lock bar. They've been decent recently, like the tiger striped one we've got out.
They've gotten better.
Yeah.
For sure.
See, I'm not just the only one talking smack.
Yeah. And I like ZT. Like I really like ZT stuff.
See, I think I'm the one that's probably lowest, and I still enjoy some of the ZT models. There's a couple on the wish list that they don't even make anymore that if I could track down.
But is it the built like a tank stuff?
No, good. It is not.
That's good. That's the stuff that I don't like.
It's like the
really?
little
you don't
titanium like Rexford guy, and it's not. No,
you don't like the huge chunky.
No. They did a drop point with a emergency orange.
They did.
I'd put that one in. That would be like a Contigo, whether it's a fun time knife, right? But yeah.
What is it? It's the 562.
The
Spicer grind.
This is the.
Sure is. No, that's yeah.
The 562. That's about as tanky as I want to go with a ZT. In most cases, I think.
I mean, that's still pretty tanky.
It is.
Like it's pretty goddamn tanky, all things considered.
Oh, the 850. Stop making me sad about sales I've made.
Well, sometimes you have to live with the choices that you make.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but not today.
Well, today I definitely do because I don't have an 850.
Yeah.
So those are things. I think that pretty much wraps us up on that bad boy.
Pretty whelmed. Pretty goddamn whelmed.
Hey man, that blade looks pretty easy to sharpen. It's got to be a bonus, right?
Look, again, the thing feels fine in hand. It's got a good blade. I'm sure it's a very functional knife. It's just there's just a few too many nitpicks for me to get like super jazzed about it. Which is a shame because the presentation side looks particularly good, especially with the contrasting colors in this photo. I really dig that.
And honestly, out of all three ZTs that have come out, what's your favorite?
Of the three?
Yeah.
This one.
Compared to a 762
really?
And compared to a Tiger Stripe 308.
Yep.
All right, Joe, audience members. Yeah. Sneezing.
Joe?
I just wanted to bring up a picture of the 762 here. Do I have to go 0762?
Are we talking about just looks, or are we talking about...
What's your favorite knife that they came out with?
Overall. Of the three, including the reskin, I'm going to say the 762. Absolutely. It's a weird-looking knife.
Throwing stuff around here.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Blue titanium.
You're going to round us up by saying your favorite is the 308?
No. God, no. No, it's kind of a toss-up. Like... Okay, I made a comment in one of our group chats here earlier this week about unliking a post before I even liked it. Like, is it possible to unlike? Is it possible to like one of these knives the least amount to say it's my favorite? Like, because that's where I'm sitting in right now. Is which one do I like?
The most least?
The most least. Yeah,
okay,
it is.
That's
I guess it's a 990. It really is. The size on this thing, I liked the 990 on the size wise. It reminded me of what a Pleroma could do if they tweaked some things and whatever. I never got to play with the 999, so if that is any indication of like how nice a 999 was and if the action was dialed in and blah blah blah, yeah, I guess that's my favorite. And I get your 762 argument. I really do, Joe. Don't get me wrong. It's a close second because no one likes the Tiger Striped 308 except for Matt. But
yeah. I can understand not liking this knife. It is kind of funky, and all the other issues we detailed in our video, but still.
So the reason I quantified, is it just looks or is it overall? Because I dislike the double D10 system so much. No, even though I like the looks of this knife more.
Yeah. I'm a little bitter about the double D10 system too. I'm with you.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't have a problem with it at all.
Hey, we can't figure out our D10s. Let's add another.
And then still not figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey, it works fine. You guys are just curmudgeons.
It works fine-ish.
Works fine. Full stop. It's not great, you'll note. But
I'm glad to see where my money's going. So, yeah.
Overall, the 850 is a better knife. Go find one of those.
Yeah, big chunker.
So, anyway, I think that about sums it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Who's got some small topics to talk about?
I got one or two.
I just gotta dig up some emails again.
I got a handful.
I got a small topic. So kind of in line with honeymoon phases and carrying knives, not carrying knives, rotating through an EDC collection. It's pretty obvious. I carry lots of knives, generally speaking, when I'm at work especially, but day to day, I'll normally have like 2 folders, maybe 3 folders if I'm just hanging around in the garage getting stuff done or running errands.
I don't believe you.
No, seriously, like it's
2 folders, 3 folders, 4 folders max type of thing, right?
Nah.
It's yeah.
Well, okay, let's see.
6 blades.
So if you count my Leatherman as a blade, which is stupid because it's a pair of pliers to me and little else. That's not true. That's not doing that thing service, but front pocket is usually a friction folder. See there? I was able to slide that in there. I've got a Nulu in another pocket, but back pocket.
Is that an Nulu in your pocket?
You just happy to see? No. It's an Nulu, and I'm not happy to see you. But
it's not a Penstagger. It has to be Canada friendly, right?
So. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I've used that thing as a scraper almost every day. But this thing
one of those.
has been riding around in my back pocket pretty much since I bought it. It's been with me in sweatpants as I'm hanging around the house at the end of the day if I'm not doing much. This is the knife that comes with me just about freaking everywhere, regardless of what else is being carried.
For how big it is, it's like quite light because of the G10 construction on it, right? So
yeah.
I'll be right back, boys.
For sure.
I was just going to point out the fact that like most people are like, yeah, just bumming around the house today. I was carrying a Dragonfly, a Bug Out. Joe's like full-size military.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, think of it this way. I always have an S110V, perfectly sharp edge. Not always, but most of the time. I have this thing here with me. And if I go past going on into the living room and I see a bunch of cardboard in the bin, it's like, oh yeah, okay, that still needs to be broken down. That's what this does. Someone comes in, it's like, oh, I just got mail in. Oh, here, we'll open it up with this. Like it's so often used. Like I've never like really sharpened this thing. I've buffed it like twice, maybe. It's S110. Like you don't have to do much. Anyway, the crux of what I'm trying to get at here is this thing has been with me all the time, forever, since I bought it. And before that, the knife that was in this knife's place was another military. It was S30V. This might be like probably my most carried knife in terms of just like consistency from purchase. So I have to ask you guys, and I'll re-ask this of Dennis when he gets back. But like, is there a knife that you just not just go back to, but like, regardless of what else ends up in your carry for the day, is there something that always makes the rotation? And I mean, like, 99.9% of the time.
Yes. And at least it's, I won't say forever, but usually one of them, like something in my EDC is around long term.
Yeah.
And right now it's my rustic jet.
I was thinking it was gonna be because I can't remember the last time I've seen you without that knife.
Yeah, it rides in my left side pocket every day.
Too bad there's no brown Appalachian drifters available right now. But
Right?
yeah.
I know that sucks. The best part is it's the same size knife, so that's going to swap out, and then that one's going to be my go-to forever.
So Dennis, what I had been kind of building up to and had to ask Paul was that my military has been probably the most consistently carried knife since I got it. And before this, the knife that I was carrying was the other military that I owned. So that would be the Dragonfly for you?
No question. No question.
Cool.
Since I've got it and did the blade swap with my girlfriend, this comes with me every day, like if not in pajama pants, because it's so goddamn light. Even the G10 with the stainless steel construction is so goddamn light and small that I can like be in sweats. I can be in shorts. I can be whatever. It's the watch pocket knife and has just become, that's why I was saying, I think that'll probably become my size comparison knife for a lot of things because it's so familiar of a size. Everyone knows it. But also it's reliably on me to be able to take size comparison pictures. So yeah, there's no contest there.
The other answer would be my Pena, because that's been fifth pocket since I got it pretty much too.
Fair.
I main pocket carried it like for 2 days. And then I was like, oh, it fits here? Sweet. That's one extra knife I can carry.
That's actually how I felt about my side leg pockets on my work pants. It's like, this is the perfect size for my Ulu. And that's where it goes every single time.
Other EDC gear, I might. Yeah, I do. My AAA flashlight, like there's a couple things that are just like always, right? Like not knife related, but that's in my pocket every single day. Like it's, yeah.
My M7 chapstick.
But knife related, yeah, it's the Dragonfly. That's the one that always gets a spot lately.
Nice.
My bug out has been honeymoon phasing it up here for the last couple of weeks since I did the blade swap with Justin, and yeah, it's hard to get this thing out of my pocket right now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
it's not the wrong answer.
Can't say I blame you. Might be the best iteration the Benchmade never made.
That they never made. It's all right. I'm 3 colored accents away from having a perfect knife, so
you're almost there.
So close. So close. I almost stole some off of a fact here earlier this week, but they didn't quite fit. They were close. They were so close. Didn't quite fit.
That's brutal.
Yeah, the Anthem might be in that same list as far as like length of time carried and then just how frequently I go back to it.
Yep.
Because
it's an easy knife to carry too. It's pretty slim.
It is. It's right in that back pocket.
Yeah, right where it should. For the record, that's where I also put the Millie. Back right pocket.
You guys are monsters.
Well, anyway. Okay. Can you imagine carrying this thing in your front pocket and then having anything else in there?
Yeah, I've carried a PM2.
Yeah, actually, yeah, very similar carry size. They're about the same width.
Yeah.
Or height, I guess. Height.
I am slowly but surely changing a clip to fit my...
You're still working on that. Good stuff.
I get to a certain point and I'm like, and if I go any farther than this, I might screw things up. And I stick around until, the courage comes back.
That's fair. Yeah, that was just my small little topic.
Small.
Smaller.
I mean, I got a topic or two.
What do you got, Paul?
A bit of a bitch session. if I'm being mostly honest.
I'm always on board for that shit. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Just hearing that makes me wish I had some extra beer handy.
So it's going to be from that URL that I sent you there, Joe. From last week.
Okay, let me just dig that out while you talk it up.
No one likes an Earl.
I need you to bring it up because I forget the name of the knife, if I'm being completely honest.
You don't even know what you're bitching about? Oh,
was it the Boker link?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll bring that up right now.
I'm going to start bitching about the...
Is it the HEA? Is it the HEA? Oh, okay. I'm always good for a Boker rip. So,
yep.
Are you talking about your artisan? Won't stay tight?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow, that's some sort of knife there.
I like it. I'm into it.
There's
better pictures of it, I will say.
Brass. Is there other models other than brass?
There's a brown micarta as well, which is really nice.
And BB is joining us.
Hey, man.
BB, what up?
I want to say that may or may not be Brandon, but time will tell. So, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
My biggest bitch about this knife is that it's in VG10.
Well, you're only going to overpay for VG10 from Boker 100% of the time. So why would this be an exception? So
that's that conversion rate from 102 euros is about $150 for VG10.
That's not the most terrible thing in the world for brass and VG10.
It's so I really wanted to bitch about the fact that VG10, and I don't like buying VG10 and whatever else. And I was carrying this knife last week when I was going to bitch about it. And just the fact that, obviously this is VG10 Sand Mine Damascus. But I bought this knife despite the fact that it was VG10, not because it had VG10. I bought it for everything else, minus that. None of that, but for everything else.
Most of the other things. Yeah. And yeah, glad you can join us there, Brandon. Things are going awesome over here. One day at a time, man. One day at a time.
The card is pretty nice looking.
It is.
All right. You got me there. What's the difference in price on brown micarta? Jesus.
87 euro.
Oh, so quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah. Okay.
Good stuff. Yeah.
And that was the other thing. Of the ones that I want, it's probably the micarta one, and it's cheaper.
So why is there no photo of the knife closed showing us how deeply that thumb stud is put into the handle?
Because you know exactly why.
Yeah, because I want to see it. Damn it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm worried. I'm terrified even.
You can just put a quick stud on your thumb stud to be able to get to it. It's fine.
Dennis, you stop that.
What? As if you haven't thought about doubling down.
I haven't. That's a horrible thing to think.
If your knife gets to the point where you're like, yeah, what I need is another thumb stud on my thumb stud.
Hey, bitches. Heard you like thumb studs.
Yes. Isn't that where the step thumb stud? It's like just 4 thumb studs on top of each other. It's
What are you doing, step stud?
My Rhino. It's your Semenza.
Oh,
I'm leaving.
It's probably the best decision you've made all night.
Yeah.
I think so, at least. But anyway.
So is the bitch fest just that you're paying VG10 or
I'm
paying this much?
Boker prices for a Boker Plus for VG10, and they've got me because this knife looks nice. And I'm already gonna buy the Brook when that comes out, also in VG10. I would have preferred this knife in almost any other steel. Almost any other steel.
But it's a Boker.
Yes.
They could have done D2.
Yeah, I would have been happy in D2.
But then they can't charge as much money. The markup on VG10 is so much better. Come on.
I would have paid $100 for.
So they don't have it available.
You and micarta.
So
Well, here's a picture of the Brook anyway.
You were looking at the
It's right
ice
there.
pick because
Well,
yeah.
I wanted to try and find a picture of the ice pick because if there's a sucker that's going to be paying for some Boker plus VG10, it's going to be this sucker right here.
Well, at least we can know that the heat treatment will be inconsistent. That's
Yeah, of course.
something to look forward to.
52, 61. Is it a flip of the coin or a roll of the dice? Who knows? But I'm playing that game.
No one said 52. Let's not say 52. Let's not hold ourselves to anything that's never been tested. It was 56. That's Anyway.
Oh.
It wasn't either. I'm just
honestly
sinking the entire ship right now.
Yeah, maybe I'm just annoyed because they've already got me on the hook for this knife, like hook, line, and sinker, pun intended.
Boo! But
it's
also,
a good fish knife. It's a good fish knife.
Yeah,
it's the fishiest knife that I've ever wanted to. Well, that's not true.
The Boker Mermaid,
the Boker Magnum,
the Mermaid,
I think is the fishiest knife I've ever wanted to buy.
That knife is the fishiest.
You want one of those salmon natives too, if you got your chance to get your hands on one of those.
If I didn't have to pay salmon native prices, I would buy one in a heartbeat.
The term salmon native prices is something we won't repeat again on this channel.
Yep. I'm sure there's an algorithm for that. We're being asked about what we would use to rust-proof blades in extreme moisture.
Mineral oil. Good old mineral oil. I have nothing on me. I mean, Paul's got the Renaissance wax made by Hanwei.
I would ask a follow-up question. Are these knives going into long-term storage, or are they seeing daily use?
No, they're just on the West Coast, and it's rainforesty. Good times.
Yeah, mineral oil's a pretty good choice. That's what I would pick.
I just have a cloth literally in a sealed container that's soaked with mineral oil, and I just wipe stuff down at the end of it all before I put it in the sheath, and then
Yours doesn't smell as good as mine.
Yeah, I mean it's no KPL.
That was a bad idea.
Smooth.
It smells like kerosene. I'm pretty sure that caused brain damage.
Yeah.
Little Tupperware, about this big, with some mineral oil soaked on it. The mineral oil's cheap at the grocery store, and just wipe the blades down real good.
Yeah, definitely don't buy red wax. It's kind of expensive, but it does work particularly well, especially in long-term storage.
Yeah.
And if you are of the medieval reenactment type, there's no other option for you, really.
For pocket carry, again, mineral oil is food safe. So if you do happen to be cutting food, anything like that, you can put it on those blades as well, and even just a thin coat on your blade before you put it away in your pocket. It'll wear off throughout time, but if you do that a couple times a week, it probably would keep you from having any tarnish on any blades. Yeah.
Ultimately, I would also opt for blades that were less susceptible to rusting overall to begin with, just because there's always going to be areas of knives that are difficult to service. Things like the inside nooks and crannies and back locks, or some access locks, they're a little hard to get into without like a Q-tip or something.
Getting in them nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
So are you going with a micarta or a brass tenshi there, Paul? Get you back on track.
Micarta for sure.
Okay.
In regards to Brandon's question about good folding saw, Silky? I think Silky is the answer.
Silky is the most easily available, absolutely everywhere you can find a Silky. But recently I picked up an Agawa saw, the 21, the Boreal 21 or the Boreal 24. Super happy with that. Standard blade is okay, but they make 4 or 5 different tooth-shaped blades, and I want to check out things like one called the Rancher's blade and things like that. Some aggressive tree falling if you need to, or car camping or whatever it is. So either one of those brands. Agawa is Canadian made, so I might lean towards just pushing those because local distribution compared to Silky, which is Japanese, and SK5. So nothing wrong with it for sure.
Indeed. And I'm not sure what the question after, just Rook. is in reference to, because I don't think they make us.
They don't make a saw.
Yeah.
Their blades mainly should be stainless, so you shouldn't have to worry about it as far as the everyday carry, if that's the case. But
trying to think. I think the least stain resistant steel they use commonly is 8CR. So I think you're pretty good.
And keep an eye out for new root knives, because there's going to be some new titanium models coming out. I believe Brandon, if I remember correctly, has the blue and black fang. So they just came out with a titanium version of that knife with N690 cobalt. I think that was the one that had.
Yeah, that was the one where I was like, oh, but I might still get it.
But the sexy pivot color. And so good times. Yeah.
That's a good looking knife. Yeah. Like,
I think you're crazy for not going for the Tenchi brass, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. This is obviously like a callback to the Higo no Kami's, right?
Oh, 1,000,000%.
I feel like you're missing the point if you don't get it in brass, because you're overpaying for VG10 anyway. Why not overpay another $30 for the brass?
I mean, the blade's going to hit the barrel spacer on the back, whether you buy the $30 version actual Higo or this one anyway. So why not spend $150 for that to happen?
Yeah,
sorry, I'm a dick.
I like the brass looks of this one. I think I'd go Micarta just because of the weight savings.
Oh,
because that steel is going to be heavy as fuck.
Yeah, this one's 97 grams compared to, I don't even know what the Micarta one is.
Significantly less.
I can only imagine. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I want to say it's like in the 70s or maybe the 80s.
Just waiting for it to load now. 97 grams down to 54.
Okay, so that's the main reason.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Good times.
And I like brown micarta.
Go figure.
So there, I said it.
That's an okay thing to say, I guess.
It's not quite the stand you seem to think it might be, but
it's like a respectable top 5 when it comes to micartas, but it's I got one more thing to talk about real quick before we head out this evening.
All right.
Brandon, would that be? Thanks. Don't worry about the derail, man. Happy to answer questions. The more questions, the better. We like the participation for sure. Definitely. So, I'll post some pictures of the Agawa saw, because check those boys out for sure. My rant, where was I going? Artisan cutlery. You're complaining about your tomahawk. We got some artisan cutlery stuff. There is 2 pictures from last week I sent you.
Ooh, let's see if I can find them.
There's 4 pictures that are very similar from different angles, and then there's 2 pictures of a fixed blade. So preamble, while Joe is bringing those up, the Blade Show West is coming up this week in exactly 4 days, 12 hours, 29 minutes, and apparently 3 seconds, according to the count on their clock, right? So,
good to know.
Yeah. We're going to see some stuff, hopefully, at Blade Show West. Maybe we'll see ZT make an announcement about something. Maybe we'll see Cold Steel make an announcement about something. Who knows? You just happen to be carrying a Cold Steel, but I don't think they go to Blade Show. So
I did find some photos. So fixed blade or folder first?
Fixed blade. We don't even have to do folder if we don't want to. We can just do fixed blade tonight.
This guy?
Well, see what Artisan did is they made themselves a limited edition sea snake that you can buy exclusively at Blade Show West. So if you're at Blade Show West,
S35, huh? That's an upgrade.
They got some S35. They got some micarta. They got a coated blade. They got some things on this knife.
Gold hardware
that you can't have. You can't have it unless you're at Blade Show West.
Look,
and
this
then
way
you
they
can
only
have
had to
it.
make 50 of them.
I don't know how many they made with these bad boys, but anyway, hopefully it's popular enough that it becomes a regular release. Because goddamn, boys, goddamn.
That would be nice. Would be very nice.
Yeah, you're trying to tempt me with a neck knife with no lanyard hole. This is a good way to try. I'm not saying they succeeded. It's just a good way to try.
A valiant,
Lanyard hole on a neck knife.
a valiant effort, right?
And I don't know if Ben meant to spell nice with a K, but that's awesome. I think everything should have a silent K when it starts. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask Ben to leave.
Well,
You need to type out.
he did it twice, so we got to assume it was intentional.
I missed the first time around, but that's because I'm a dick sometimes. So yeah, good times. But anyway, yeah, this is some hot damn going on.
It's good looking. It's the second coated blade in as many weeks as I've enjoyed, quite honestly.
So I'm super curious on YouTube video, stuff like that. We might have some stuff to talk about next week about Blade Show West, because if there's some articles that someone has about Artisan, maybe they'll be saying that this is going to be a 2022 release, or who knows, right?
Yeah.
If they're peeking stuff, maybe Rook is too, with some of the new 154 leaks that we've been seeing. And yeah,
could be interesting if they decide to I could see them going the route of releasing this Snee Snake with different handle scales, but still S35 and DLC coded. Maybe they go back to G10. I could see them just having this as like a limited run of however many for the show.
Who knows? Yeah.
They'll just give you silver screws. Everything else is the same.
Maybe it's sold good enough they'll break out 6 varieties and be like, boom, here's some bug outs for you, bitches. Like, it's, yeah. So,
yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, I'm super impressed with it. But that actually might lead us into, if we've got time before we go,
I think
pushing that limit, but we might as well talk about the folder, because this also got leaked. And who knows if it'll be at Blade Show West as well.
Put it up, Joe.
But Artisan Cutlery did a collaboration with Ferrum Forge.
Yeah, they did.
And so they got this here knife thingy that's a titanium frame lock, because if you look at the backside of one of the images, very clearly a frame lock. But then this cool hovering stop pin thing that someone had the idea to do. No, I don't think that's quite what they're going for, but being as we had the theme tonight, I thought it was kind of funny. But
it's weird. It reminds me of the
Snee Snake?
No, the Benchmade Cebu. The holes, the shape of them.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
how in any way does this knife remind you of the Cebu?
I'm glad
the holes aren't even correct, because the Cebu holes are like trapezoidal. But anyway,
there's 2 different holes in them.
Oh, Paul.
Different types of holes, I mean.
Oh, look at that backspacer. Okay, so
yeah.
Neuralink.
So they've got 4 images for this bad boy. But again, this was just a leak on their IG, as according to everything, there's no talk about this knife. No one's really heard anything about this knife other than them saying, hey, we got some shit. So maybe that'll be some Blade Show West stuff that is starting to trickle out. That's going to be happening in 4 days, 12 hours, 23 minutes, and 48 seconds, apparently, according to this countdown right here.
Ben saying there's another new release on the main page as well. Blue and black.
Okay then. Okay. On Artisans.
Ben's making announcements for us.
Apparently, I'm a week behind, because I discovered this little gem last week, and then I have not looked at the update since. So maybe we just don't know shit anymore.
Oh. This website's formatting is trash.
Oh, he's talking us out of it. For the Olight store. Okay.
Oh, Olight. Okay.
Oh, he's taking us on a derailment. I
Indeed.
see what's going on.
Indeed. Well,
he's like, I don't care about your Artisan knife. Ferrum Forge can suck it. Check this out. Thanks, Ben. Thanks. Thanks. I like that knife. Now we're talking about something else. I appreciate that. That's good stuff.
I do like that first knife that you were showing. The artisan Seibu.
I don't even know what it's called. I got no idea.
It's better be called a Seibu.
Looks like a kind of a sea snake almost. Okay, so it's not allightstore.ca. It's not.
If we're gonna look at the O knife again, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, I'm just saying, if this is,
I've seen reviews that it's the O knife something or other.
Nightclaw. That doesn't sound like the shape of what that knife was.
No, they say D2, but
I want to say it was the Splinter or something like that.
He did say Olight Canada. Anyway.
Yeah, that's why I was looking.
Okay.
Olight.ca, but it's just not turning up.
Nightclaw NC. I'm off my gourd.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Glad we're with us. Thanks for leading the show, Ben. Appreciate that.
We appreciate it.
So, is this not exactly, but very similar to a design by Serge? Panchenko.
Totally, Panchenko.
So this
is
seems
he
to
getting
be
credit for this sumbitch or what?
I don't know, but this appears to be a button lock
with a nail nick.
And the button looks like you're gonna release the Eye of Ra on that shit. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
With the Mummy's Returns.
Okay, so I don't think Surge's works like this at all. I think his is at most are they liner locks or little slip joints?
Nail nicks, potentially even, I'm not sure. But yes, interesting. The button locky action. Yes, that is very interesting.
A 58 to 62 full flat ground D2 blade. Okay.
I stand by my statement. It's no Quark.
No, thank God. Jesus.
One was enough.
Yeah.
One was more than enough.
How much do you think I'm going to overpay for that thing?
Well, I mean, this thing is $53.95, so the Quark's got to be at least 4 to 5 times that, right?
I was going to say you're going to overpay whatever the price is. That much is how much you're going to pay.
You could have paid $0 dues and been fine, but no, you had to pay.
And not gotten it, and that would have been the right choice. And instead, you choose to pay money for it.
I want to put a neck knife on my neck knife, so I can neck knife while I neck knife.
Are you going to attach a quick stud onto it while you're at it?
I'm thinking about it.
Maybe you could hook it off the sheath like an Emerson wave deployment.
Like a Henkel's peeling knife?
I'm
just customized homemade sheath?
I'm wondering if you realize that it's still just a fixed blade. There's no Emerson wave, even if you had a quick stud.
Yes.
It's still just a fixed blade coming out of a sheath.
Friends off.
Emerson style.
They make a sheath for like peeling knives that hooks in your pocket when you're pulling it out. So it unsheaths itself as it comes out of your pocket.
Well, CRKT made that one that you put the knife in like with the tip down and then like had it on your belt. So you just pulled it like this and then out.
I remember.
Yeah. That's a good time. That's all sorts of dangerous because your knife was constantly open on a like 30-degree angle.
What's that thing? What was that thing called?
It was a terrible idea. We'll put a pin in that and see if we can find it for next week.
Yeah.
I
had one thing that's kind of going down the same rabbit hole of new announcements.
Okay.
All right, let's dive, shall we? We should wrap this up pretty quick, but yes, see what's going on.
There's not a lot of information. It was just a new announcement from Wee Knives, actually over on Instagram for a new NAF.
Oh, yes. Let me navigate to those photos.
Yep.
I see.
I tell you the name of it, but again, I don't know. I can barely remember my own name half the time, let alone
the Primoris.
Yeah, that sounds like a wee knife name.
It sure does.
Did Elijah Isham design it by any chance? Oh, I've seen this thing. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. It actually looks like Velation handle from Benchmade with the aluminum contouring and such. Yeah.
Is that marbled carbon Faruber?
in number 2. It looks like it.
Oh, it sure does look like it.
Hmm.
That better not
It's
be.
got some racing stripes on it this time. It's good.
You mean those aren't for grip?
It's not fruited. It's not enough fruiting to be called fruited.
They're all hand assembled by Wolverine.
Those are some tiny ass claws he's got. Just like
Think
little.
like Deadpool when he loses his hand. Like that.
Gross. Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, I don't hate this.
The blade kind of looks like Sog designed it, but you know.
Well, if you got that many jimps in your jimping, you know.
Yeah. I mean, how many jimps can you put on there before you are like, whoa, simmer on the jimps?
Evidently,
All the way.
12. Paul, no. Bad.
I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying you could.
Are you just calling out the Kershaw grinder now, or what? Like, it's...
That
If you put a knuckle them, it's a feature, right? It's a design.
I don't know if Joe can jump to a Kershaw grinder, but it's
I don't know if I want to.
phenomenal. All the jumps in a row.
Yeah.
It would be weird if the jumps weren't in a row. Like, how would they, like, just on the sides of the blade? That would be super weird.
Like,
It
look
would
at,
be-
look at that.
Usually jumps have to be in a row. That's how it works. Yeah.
I've always felt like this knife, the blade and the handle aren't the same knife. Like they just had leftovers of each, and they're like, "Yeah, this will work."
Well, don't you see all the jimps that they had on the handle to match with all the jimps they have on the blade?
How silly of me! You're right.
Where the blade stops, the handle takes over. They're like, no, I got this. We got more jimps over here.
Hey, man, they could have jimped the whole front of the clip as well.
They could have.
Again, I'm not saying they should have.
Hunt series styles.
They make decisions
Exactly.
like this, and then they discontinue things like the induction. Just makes me so sad.
Hey, man, the induction's more expensive to make.
Sure is. That was a nice knife. It was. All right. I think we pretty much rounded all this bullshit out.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get Joe to throw up one more picture. It was the one that I sent you, I believe, with my EDC pick. Go to Instagram, you sons of bitches. Go over there and win one of these. One of those, Joe.
One of these?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
still
do it.
looking for it. You just kept going.
Go back to when you saw Justin's black and carbon fiber bug out. You'll also see this bug out right here. Go to that Instagram post on the Pokey Factor. Call out a couple of the swapperoonies that we made on each other's knives. We touched
Follow us
each
over
other.
here
We
and,
touched each other's knives. It's good. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all mashed up together. They bumped uglies even.
Dick Richards, next Sunday we will be announcing live how who's going to win that. That would be Thanksgiving Sunday. We're going to be doing the live stream. Thanksgiving, good times. Turkey ho ho. Wait,
Oh, yeah,
no,
right.
that's the
That's
next
good.
season. Yeah, that's why I was giving them this fancy picture that you could win one of these. And then Paul gets this fancy picture to put up on Instagram this week and say, "Hey, go win one of these," because it's kind of
Yeah.
a fancy picture.
That is a fancy picture. I like this picture. Oh,
I also like this picture.
gonna go for the pan. Yeah.
I'm gonna also call out Patreon. If you are subscribed to the Patreon, you'll automatically be entered in. So thanks again for everyone doing that. Also gonna have some sweet stuff coming up for the Patreon guys.
He doesn't mean the giveaway. Just entered in.
You'll get entered in, all right. It's anyway. That's all you need to know about that.
And they're all out.
Yeah, everyone unsubscribed. Fisk's not even here. He just heard a rumor. He's already gone. Like it's
Forget it.
And I suppose lastly, we'll have them incoming soon. Cutting Edge Cutlery Co. Thanks again, guys, for letting us play with the 990. Got the first-hand review on that bad boy. More to come. I'm sure they'll be up on the website soon once we get the proper batch of them.
Once we get more than one.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, good times. Thanks again for that. Plug our own company because that's who we work for, and we like working for them. So,
Absolutely. All right. I think that does indeed fully wrap us up. Thanks for joining us, guys. Dennis, who are you?
Paul, glad you could join us. You made it till the
I'm
end.
saying hard. I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Let's wrap it up before Paul starts passage.
Yeah.
Thank God you're one of the people watching us right now. It's circular. All right. We're going to sign off, guys. Thanks again. Brad and Phoenix joined in the nick of time, but unfortunately we're hanging out. This will be reposted on our YouTube if you want to watch it again. We reviewed the ZT990. Cool, guys. Thanks for joining us. I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
I'm XL.ca.
And we'll catch you guys again next time. Take care.
This pineapple rattler is delicious, by the way. It's delicious.
Fuck you and your pineapple rattler.
It's delicious.
I hope bad things happen to you and only you.
At least I'll have delicious rattler in my mouth.